Hey guys, good morning. What my hair look like? All right, cool. Um, Story time. For those of you who don't know me, I'm E Fatty. It's my first time doing any type of little story time deal, but um, yeah, with all that's going on, man, I just felt like, especially with the killing that happened yesterday, I was like, man, I was in that same predicament, and it really hit home with me, that I was in the same predicament, and this young fella lost his life, and it could have been me. So, for those of you guys who don't know me, I'm E Fetty, the Christian rapper, founder of Christ-like Clothing, the Red Arrows that changed the world. Check that out. Um, but before I gave my life to God, before I became this Christian hip hop artist, motivational speaker, um, I was just an ordinary kid from the hood, really. Um, Grew up in the hood, and involved in gangs, full of guns, drugs, in and out of jail. But this story is the first time I was held at gunpoint by a police officer. Now, me growing up in the hood, we're not strange to guns and violence. I've been shot at. Um, I've I've been robbed at gunpoint multiple times. Um, so it's nothing new by being by having a gun pointed at somebody that's grown up in the hood where I grew up in. So, but this time, it's when I just got out of jail on my last time. Just got out of jail. This is back in '09, and I gave my life to Christ. Best thing that ever happened to me. Um, Gave my life to Christ, and that's when I started becoming a Christian rapper. So I was making a lot of noise in the city that I was in. I was making a lot of noise. People was talking about the guy who gave his life to Christ, who used to be a drug dealer. Uh, so I was making a lot of noise in the city, and I was leaving this show. It was a fairly big show. I mean, I was on the ticket with a couple stellar artists. It was a pretty dope show, but um, I was leaving the show, and let's say the show ended about around 9 o'clock, so it was already dark outside. So I'm leaving the show. Um, did good, by the way. Praise be to Jesus. And I'm driving. I probably get 2 minutes down the street, or 2 miles down the street from the venue, and um, cop gets behind me. So the cop, um, he's reading the plate. So the car I had was an old school Mercedes. It was like, I think like a 440 SEL, something like that. It was super old school, but I loved it. It was mine. Um, but he was reading the plate, and he pulled up my name. And what I want to believe is that, when he pulled up my name, he seen the criminal charges. He seen the old me. So he seen the drug trafficking charges. Um, and then he pulled me over. He pulled me over, put his light on, pulled me over. He said he pulled me over because I had, I think he was saying, a license plate light out. He said one of my lights were out, but it really wasn't out. Um, so he pulled me over, and came to the car. Um, it was like license and registration. Um, and this is when he got serious. So I was like, yeah, I got it. He asked me if I had any weapons. And I was like, um, no, but I got a pocket knife. I got a pocket knife. Now, at this time, like, I think two more cop cars pull up. So it's two cops at my window. and it's just me. Um, he asked me where I'm coming from. I told him that I just came from a concert. And I pointed to the back of the seat where I had my CDs at. I had a box of CDs in the back seat. Like I just came back from a concert. Officer, I'm a Christian hip hop artist now. Um, so he tells me to give him my ID. So I reached for the glove department to get my ID, and they both pull their guns out at me and start yelling. They're saying, don't move, I'll shoot. Put your hands on the steering wheel. And I'm like, what? I'm getting my ID, and I look and I just see the guns pointed at me, and I put my hands on the steering wheel, and they're talking. They're telling me don't move, don't do anything. Uh, he tried to open up the door from the outside, but it was locked. So told me to unlock the door, and I just remember just crying like literally like not boo-hooing or anything like that, but I mean tears just dropped down the side of my face. Not because I was scared or anything, but I was upset. Like man, I'm a new person. I'm a new creature now, and um, I'm not involved in that type of lifestyle. Now I'm sitting here with guns drawn out at me, and I can't do anything. you know, and it just made me so mad. And so they open up the door and they tell me to get out. They tell me to get out. By this time, the third officer comes up, and um, so the third officer actually knew of me, because I started making a little bit of noise back then. So um, they set me down on the curve. Um, oh, that's right. The first officer that came up, um, he was like, "I smell marijuana in the car," and I think that's what made me start crying. Not crying like, but that's what made me get so upset, because those of you that knew me before I gave my life to Christ knew I never smoked weed, you know. But my charges, I used to sell it back in the day. So, but I never smoked it. Just never felt appealing. But I sold it back in the day. So, never would have been around, any marijuana smoking whatsoever. So he literally just lied um, to my face like that so that he could, have that probable cause to search the car. And it was horrible, because I'm like, yo, I called him a liar. Um, I called him a liar. I said, "You're lying, because I don't smoke. I'm a new man now. I don't smoke. I don't sell. You don't smell no marijuana." And they set me down on the ground, and I wish I could remember the officer name who knew me, because he said they talked to me, and I was telling him that his partner was a liar, that he's lying, that there's no marijuana in my car. So they asked if they could search it, and so I said, yeah, go ahead, search it, tear it apart, do whatever you want. Um, and they didn't find anything, and they just let me leave, and told me to replace the light that was in the back. But when I did get home, checked the light in the back, and there wasn't no light out in the back. So um, I believe he just pulled up my old charges and thought he had him a easy bust, really. And I was so upset about it. And to think about this kid that just got, I don't know how old he is, sorry for calling him a kid, but the guy who just died, I'm like, wow. I mean, he was sort of in the same predicament where, you know, um, he told the officer he had a weapon, and the officer told him to get him his registration and ID. I mean, but lucky for me, or I mean, I guess the protection from God is that this officer that pulled me over didn't pull the trigger while I reached for my license out the glove department. So, wow. I think I only told like 3 people that story. All right, guys. I guess at the end of the story, you're supposed to say, what you're supposed to do. If you get pulled over by a cop, man, I mean, try to do everything they say. Don't reach for anything before. If they tell you to reach for it, you say, you confirm, like, hey, would you like me to reach for this over here? It's in my glove compartment before you ever reach for it. We don't need nobody else getting killed. Um, I love you guys with the love of Jesus Christ. God bless you guys. Crooked cops, y'all need to get off the force. Bye.